Deadpool 3, when it became Deadpool and Wolverine, allegedly did a major change in its direction and what we were going to be seeing from the film. So let's talk about how we're finding out some alleged details about what Deadpool 3 was originally supposed to be and the version we will never get to see for ourselves. So according to reports, what's happened is that Marvel Studios shifted everything that was going on with Deadpool 3 to be a completely different film when Hugh Jackman signed on. Now, this to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense because of various things that were said, but we'll talk about that in a second. So if you guys saw the last video I made about Deadpool 3 setting, I talk about how a majority of the film, apparently upwards of 75%, are spent in the void, and there was elements that were completely removed from the film, such as recreating the entire ending of X-Men 3 and bringing all those actors back, de-aging them and all that. Well, apparently, when Hugh Jackman signed on, plans changed, and that's no longer happening. Now, the timeline of these things doesn't make sense to me, because people were saying that that's what the ending of the film was going to be, literally during the strike last year, which means they were already halfway done shooting the film. And that doesn't line up with when they announced that Hugh Jackman would be joining the project. So things here don't line up. Either way, though, here's apparently what was going to be happening. So the original idea was apparently to have Deadpool 3 use a time travel device/plot to allegedly escape from the TVA back to a crucial event in the series, which would be the events of X-Men 3. And then this out-of-time, misplaced Wolverine, with the comic-accurate suit and all, was going to be joined by Deadpool and their X-Force crew as they race across the country from, I guess, New York over to, well, San Francisco. And then the entire final battle was going to be recreated with multiverse characters, with Deadpool and Wolverine from the future and X-Force. They were going to de-age everybody, and we were going to be essentially retelling the ending of X-Men 3, but changing the future so the rest of the events don't play out. It completely changes what happens after X-Men 3, and then the characters were going to be kicked out to the MCU by the end of the film. Now, again, while that all sounds cool and like it's a lot of fan fiction and fan work, I feel like that's exactly what it is. Scoopers were for well over a year saying, oh, Scarlet Witch at the end, she's in this multiverse, we're going to see her, it's X-Men 3, different point of view, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, these actors are here. And now that we're starting to get a little bit more concrete details and things going on, they're kind of saying, well, this is what they were going to do, but they're not doing it anymore. Kind of like covering up, right? That's what I feel like, because it does feel like that at some point we were going to be doing this whole, hey, here's a whole lot of X-Men. You've seen them before. It's all these actors returning. But there was never a concrete confirmation of Scarlet Witch battling the likes of the Phoenix or anything like that. That was all a rumor. So I think people just kind of ran with that. They kept adding scoops on top of scoops. You're like, oh, this actress is back. She's playing the Phoenix. Yeah, Famke Jemson's back, right? That's great. And then once they start to hear and get more confirmed details of who's not in it, it's like, let's pivot our scoop. Which, to me, I don't know how to feel about this, because they seem to do this a whole lot. So you never know what the original idea was. But we certainly know what Fox's original idea was for the old Deadpool 3. And, well, that was definitely a cross-country travel trip. So who knows what element of that was kept by Disney.